Have you ever wondered what a game would look like if they mashed up Gears of War with the brain-eating, zombie-infested horde shooting of World War Z? Well, Saber Interactive have done just that with their new upcoming title, Space Marine 2, that we got a glimpse of at Gamescom. Take a look. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Salty Sleggy. Thanks for tuning in today. The fans of the 40k Warhammer Universe have been waiting for this sequel for at least 12 years since the original of 2011 put Space Marine 1. You'll continue the story of the legendary Ultramarine Lieutenant Titus in a thrilling solo or 3-player co-op campaign and play as your own Space Marine in PvE and PvP. A lot of the big creators got the opportunity to play Space Marine 2, and speaking on that point about being a creator, currently, as of right now, 89.6% of people that come by and watch this channel on a regular basis are not subscribed. My ultimate goal is to get that down to 50%. So if you are one of those individuals that come back to the channel on a regular basis and do enjoy the videos that I make, please consider subscribing. It helps out the channel more than you know, and it will make it bigger and better, I can promise you that. So please support the channel by subscribing. Thank you. And this is the B-roll that they were given. No other creator can show anything but this B-roll, and I think it looks fantastic, to be honest. It's very simplistic in its design. There have been many types of games like this in the past, such as Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood, as well as the newly released Exoprimal from Capcom with the Dino Hordes, and the upcoming John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. So Horde-like games are still a thing. These are obviously on a smaller scale within level-based design, compared to these big and spacious battlefields of Space Marine 2, where it feels very movie-esque in a sense, yet still remaining linear in its design by pushing you down a set path every time, so you're going from A to B, mission to mission. So it's very much the same formula, it's just on a bigger scale compared to the other titles that I referenced. So this genre has always existed. It's not like this is something brand new out of the box. It's always existed, whether it's first person or third person. It's just set in the 40k universe, while also utilizing that swarm engine that was created for World War Z to give you loads and loads, up to 1,000 enemies on screen at a time. And trust me, there is 1,000 enemies, so you're gonna have tyrannids at you constantly. We only saw a few little variations in the species type. There are a few flying ones, little midgy kind of ones. I hope there's a lot more variation when it comes to the types that you'll be up against. From what I know, the entire footage is actually just from mission 2 itself, and this mission can take you up to an hour to do. So they're incredibly big missions with multiple objectives throughout, and they've even managed to squeeze in those horde mode bits where like you prep and then the horde comes and you just got to defend, so it's still maintaining that pure DNA from World War Z. Obviously, I believe that this style of gameplay actually suits the theme of the whole of Warhammer 40k with massive armies. And it also gives me that Starship Troopers vibes of all the arachnids trying to attack you. Kind of the same thing, they run on a hive mind. These Tyranids run on a hive mind as well, but they're kind of like locusts, so they infect everything. And oh look, Gears of War, locusts, hive minds. I'm seeing a pattern. When it comes to like the combat system in general, it's very simplistic in its design. The executions are very simple. They seem to have gone for that Doom-esque red outline glowy indicator to show you ready to execute as well. I've seen these kind of executions with Saber before when I played Evil Dead the game. Now there could be a possibility of unlocking executions throughout the game. I kind of highly doubt it. From my experience with Saber, they do not change when they're set on something. Now obviously I'm not a game dev, so I don't know what it takes in order to do these type of execution systems. I don't know whether it affects performance. I don't know if it's costly in general, but I believe with the technology that we have nowadays, where we're pushing limits and pushing limits, why can't we have more limits being pushed when it comes into the execution side of things? Because they are really fucking cool and you could do so much more with them. But in this instance, I think they'll stick to the generic finishers. Like, I like the finishers, I just like more of them. I'm just that kind of guy. I just really like variation when it comes to finishers. So, like, don't get me wrong, they are cool, but I want to see more. But I'm very much doubting that will be the case on the final product. You know, if you want to look at executions, just look at Mortal Kombat 1. See what I'm saying? I know it's a different type of game altogether, but come on, that's cool as fuck. But that's just a minor nitpick for me personally. Like, that finisher is good for the first maybe 50 to 100 times you do it. After a while, it becomes a bit stale and generic. You only have to go and look at Assassin's Creed games and understand where I'm coming from. It doesn't do it for me. Even though Gears of War did it for me, like, how many years ago? Like, in this day and age, more is better when it comes to executions anyway, making it look cooler every time. So Space Marine 2 is what it says it is on the tin, and I don't have a problem with it. I do enjoy these types of games. I did it with World War Z. I played it all the way through. I only played it once. I don't replay these types of games. They're just, for me personally, they are a one-time deal. I will enjoy my time with it. I'd love to get 2 other people in to play with me, to experience it together. That would be great. I think they've nailed it on an aesthetic level. The environments are absolutely stunning, to the mud on the floor, to the puddles, the blood, gore and guts, to the explosions. Everything is just popping on all cylinders. Just the violence, the gore, everything. It is all on point there, and I think Warhammer fans will love the shit out of this. So when it comes to innovation and everything else, it is not pushing anything. It is not trying to push anything. It is basically giving Warhammer fans a taste of just annihilating Tyranids, and I think it actually looks really cool. This will be one of the first titles released on next gen only, so there will be no last gen. It will be Xbox X and S, PS5 and PC. You're definitely going to see that push with other companies as well going forward in the future. They will not be pushing last gen. They will be moving forward and forgetting last gen. Technology's moving forward and those systems can't keep up. They are ancient. So if you haven't already, I would suggest you upgrade, because you will get left behind. The game is still slated for a 2023 release, though it doesn't have an official release date, and it could possibly be pushed into 2024 if Saber want to keep it in the oven a little bit longer to cook. Moving on to traditional weaponry in the 40k Warhammer universe, we'll have your traditional bolt gun, heavy bolt rifle. You also have your chainsword. This should also include like your thunder hammer, your jetpack, plasma guns, las cannons. I expect them all to be in the game. Some grenades, as well as live stims. Though everything I reference has not fully been confirmed, I'm just going off a list of what I can see for Space Marine, but I highly doubt that they would keep anything out to stop you from having fun, or to even stop it being a true, authentic Space Marine experience. On top of that, all bullets will be finite, so whatever you use will be gone, and then you'll have to find another gun in order to continue the fight. But we have seen in the recent gameplay that there are like restock places where weapons have been left for you, so if you want to switch weapons quickly, you're able to do so. So I don't think weaponry will be that much of an issue. I suppose it could be a problem depending on the difficulty that you're actually playing on. Now, the way the mechanic works for this game regarding health is you see the 3 yellow bars under his health bar. Well, they are armor, and every time you do an execution, you will regain that armor back, so that you can stay in the fight longer and continue with the battle. He does also seem to have some kind of knife as well. That's what we see slashing in the beginning. What other weapons will be available, who knows? But currently that's all I know about Space Marine 2 leading up to its release. Now the question is it the sequel that Space Marine or Warhammer 40k fans deserve? And that is the question I'm asking to you to write down in the comment box down below if you're a long time serving Warhammer fan of the games, or even just the brand in general. From what you've seen of this game so far, is it enough for your expectations? Let me know down below, because personally I can't even answer that question. I'm not really a Warhammer fan. I did play Vermintide 2. I skipped Darktide because I didn't see the longevity in it. I do not like to grind the same level over and over and over and over again until I get something new. Depends on the brand, I guess. I love the aesthetic of it, the world. I don't know much about the lore or the different types of factions. Maybe that's the reason I don't get like full-on hyped or excited for anything I see Warhammer. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing on a visual level, but I'm also not going to run to the top of the bell tower ringing it screaming Space Marine 2's coming out. You know, that's just not the kind of guy I am, but I'll play it. So realistically, there's not much more I can say on this game. I think it looks brilliant from an aesthetic, viewpoint, from a design standpoint, it's very simple. It's not something I haven't experienced before, or matter of fact, you probably haven't experienced before. I believe it'll be fun throughout the campaign, whether you're playing solo or with your friends. Obviously, with your friends is more fun. So with that said, I'd firstly like to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some good information from this. I'll also leave a link down in the description below if you want to go check that out, to the full length gameplay with all bells and whistles. So go check that out if you're really interested in seeing some more, if you haven't already. Thanks again. Subscribe for more upcoming games. You'll find other games on my channel if you want to check those out. You'll find social links down below if you want to support me in that space. You'll also find live streams at the live tab. Hit that notification bell, and as always, have a wonderful day. See you next time.